So the LEGO Ideas Evolution of STEM, it is coming out here very soon, March 1st, and I'm going to be frank on this one. It is just not for me, and I'm going to explain why. Thank you to LEGO for gifting this set for review, and let's just jump in and take a closer look at the set. So this set came to be because of a challenge from the LEGO group put out called Celebrate the World of STEM, where anybody could pretty much submit a design and could be chosen to have an exclusive LEGO Target set made of their design. Daniel Bradley submitted this cool design, which basically includes a bunch of things here that encapsulates the full world of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. LEGO refined Daniel's design, and now we have this coming out in March 1st. It's labeled an 18 plus set, which I do think is the first problem here, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. 879 pieces, and then one sticker sheet come along with the manual. You get 3 minifigures with the set, which I would say are the highlight for me. George Washington Carver is the first one we're going to see here, and I would say that he looks pretty good. I believe this is the first time we're getting this small tile with the printing of a peanut. Sir Isaac Newton is my favorite minifigure out of the 3, I'd have to say, and has the posh torso shirt print along with the nice flowing wig. And of course, an apple. The last one we get here is Maria Curie. She also looks good and has her small vial of radioactive material and then a radium tile. The minifigures are cool. I wouldn't say they're incredible. It's not something that I'm super excited about, but it is cool to get these figures in minifigure form, and it's also just cool to have minifigures like these in the collection. The build itself is on the smaller side. However, I would say it's pretty complex because you do get a lot of small pieces making up a lot of smaller builds sitting on top of this larger open book. There's going to be 2 Easter eggs hidden on each side of the book, which are probably my favorite parts of this build. One side is going to show STEM spelled out in Morse code, and then the other is going to be showing a representation of the optimal light spectrum. On top of the book, like I said, you get a bunch of smaller builds like this small city landscape alongside a small garden here. The centerpiece is this large 3D depiction of DNA, which unfortunately is the first problem with this build. I would not have noticed this, but I saw a post pop up on Beyond the Brick from the user Black Stardust 13, which pointed out something pretty significant with this portion of the build. Technically speaking, a DNA strand is supposed to follow the right-handed helix direction. Well, this replica on the build actually follows the left-handed helix. I took a closer look at this once I saw the post, and he technically is right. The DNA is actually spinning the wrong way from everything that I can see. So that is really not good, I would say. And then I also have to say that I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme on this 3D replica. Now, the 3D DNA depiction can also spin around, so you do get the added functionality aspect of this. Right in front of the DNA strand, you have this replica of a carbon atom. When you turn this knob on the back of the book, the DNA actually spins around and the carbon atom bobs up and down, which is pretty cool, I would say. There is a few other things like this early 1900s car. You get an apple tree from Sir Isaac Newton's house, and then this desk up front here with some different items on it. So this set for me should not be in the 18 plus category. I think this just fits a lot better in like the 13 plus category or so. I think it's a good set for adults that are just genuinely interested in the topic, but I think it's a great set for young people to kind of be used as a learning tool. It's a fun set. It's got some great learning components, as long as the DNA gets fixed and it's actually going in the right direction. But that's about it. I can't really say that I love the build experience. There was nothing super exciting to me here that really lended to an amazing build experience. Most of the little smaller builds were all pretty generic, so I would say it was just okay. So I am going to be tougher when it comes to build experience on this set. With a max grade of 40 on this category, I would put it all the way down at 19. Even though the grade was low, the minifigures are really what propped it up somewhat on this grade. But let's take a look at display and play and see if that helps with the grade at all. Unfortunately, I can't say that this is a set that I would want to really display either. I can understand that someone that is really into science or this kind of history may like it, and I do get that. But for me, I can't say I really love the look or the color theme of this set. Now that I know the DNA spins the wrong way, that obviously bothers me. And just in general, it feels a little bit cluttered. I will say that they did do a good job of refining the original submission, but at the end of the day, this one just isn't for me. The play side of this set is really only the knob that spins the DNA, and I think we already know the problem there. It's nice that they added a function, but it's not like it's really giving us this really cool feature that someone is going to want to really engage with all the time. I'm going to give the display and play grade on this set an 8 out of 20, which is not a good grade, but unfortunately, it doesn't get much better with this next category, overall value. The price per piece on this set is just shy of about 10 cents per piece, and this is how it compares to the other 3 sets that are priced at the exact same price point. All 3 comparison sets have larger piece counts for the same exact price, so I still can't really help this STEM set out in this category. The minifigures are good, but I don't expect them to be super valuable. This set, unfortunately, is definitely overpriced in my opinion. I would say that this really should have been priced somewhere in the $49 to $59 range, and that is really what I would recommend paying for it if it is a set that you really want. Personally, I don't think this set is going to take very long to go on sale. I think retailers are going to really want to move it as time goes on. So it's really not getting any better with this set. The overall value, unfortunately, is also not going to be very good. So out of a max grade of 20 on overall value, I'm going to put it all the way down at 9. So the last category here is actually going to be something new that I'm going to be calling the community vote. And it's actually going to be a really cool way for you, the fan, to actually participate in the final grade of these sets. And you can do that by either voting on the polls that I put out on Instagram or on my YouTube community tab. And that will actually swing the grade up or down. I'm going to allot a max amount of points of 20 on the community vote category. So you as a group can give it all the way up to 20, or as a consensus, you could bring the grade down all the way to a 0. So this grade is going to be entirely influenced by the fan. Make sure you subscribe here on the channel so that when those polls pop up, you actually see them. And then if you haven't yet, go follow me on Instagram. I put kind of different content up on Instagram nowadays, so go follow me over there as well. That way you can actually participate in the Instagram polls as well. But with that said, what did the polls look like on the evolution of STEM from you guys? The polls I ran on this one were actually really interesting. On Instagram, there was a total of 48 votes as of this recording. 30 of them voted the set as a buy, 18 as a pass. YouTube was a completely different story. Overwhelmingly, it was voted a pass with 282 votes voting pass and only 92 votes for a buy on this set. I thought it was really interesting that the 2 different audiences, Instagram and YouTube, had completely different viewpoints on the set. Regardless, if we combine the votes from the 2 different platforms, that gives us a total vote count of 430, of which about 75% voted for passing on this set. Community votes gets a max grade of 20, as I said, so with only 25% voting this as a buy, unfortunately, this is only going to get a 5 out of 20 on the community vote grade. So that doesn't leave us in a very good spot on the final grade of this set. The final grade comes in quite low, unfortunately, at 41 out of 100. Again, it's not a set for me. It's not a set I'm going to recommend you pick up either, unless you find a really killer deal on it, or if you just want to learn more about STEM or are just a big fan of STEM.